Broadcasting from Manhattan Beach and the World Wide Web, you're listening to CHSR HealthyLife.net.
As a service to our listeners, this program is for general information and entertainment purposes only. CHSR HealthyLife.net does not recommend, endorse, or object to the views, products, or topics expressed or discussed by show hosts or their guests. We suggest you always consult with your own personal, medical, financial, or legal advisor.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to Pep Talk, your get-up-and-go fix of the day. Sharkie Zartman here. Well, today we have Dr. Mamiko Odegaard, an internationally recognized love, relationship, and performance expert. And today she will talk about how to overcome self-sabotage. If you have a tendency to settle for less than you deserve, you need to listen. Dr. Mamiko Odegaard, an internationally recognized love, relationship, and performance expert. She's also an award-winning best-selling author of Daily Affirmations for Love and Overcoming Self-Sabotage, and has over 30 years' experience as a psychologist and life and business coach. And she has helped thousands of individuals and couples to reach greatness in love, relationships, and world-class performance, and was awarded Strathmore's Who's Who Worldwide Professional Life Coach of the Year. And today she will help us overcome self-sabotage. What a great way to start the new year. So welcome, Mamiko.
Thank you, Sharkie. I'm so happy to be here.
Well, I'm so happy to get to talk to you. I mean, this is, we're coming into a new year, and I think we all want this to be the best year that we've experienced. And I love your idea of overcoming self-sabotage. So, and I understand that you have a story about how you overcame self-sabotage. Can you share that with us?
Yes, I'd love to. I came to the U.S. from Japan when I was 7 years of age. And when I came here, then I was faced with bullying and teasing, and I immediately became ashamed of my appearance, even my name, and certainly of my ethnicity. And so my lifelong passion was really to develop ways to accept and love myself and overcome shame and self-sabotage, because guess what? What I learned and what I developed from that is that there are three things. One is that you've got to be irresistible to yourself, so that you are really just a shining light. You can attract the type of people that to you, and the people that are working, whether it's in sales or in your own business, then being able to attract and to work with your ideal clients so that they can't say no to you. And then also being irresistible to your family and to your loved ones, as well as your working mates and friends. And then the second thing is that I learned that you have to learn to be invincible. And by that I'm talking about overcoming obstacles, because life is full of challenges, and you can really face them and grow from each challenge, or you can step back and go backwards. And the third is for you to claim your best self and just be iconic, so that you're setting your legacy right now as being the best person, the best spouse, the best person, or in the career that you've chosen. So anyway, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
All right, great. Well, you talk about the first thing, you've got to be irresistible to yourself. And for a lot of people, that's hard, because we're our own worst critics. And so
that's exactly right.
So how do you achieve that? Tell us how to do it.
There's a method that I developed that's called conscious loving. And one of the things that we do is to have what is called moment-to-moment awareness, so that you're aware in the present time exactly what you're thinking and believing and the ways that you're acting or reacting. And so one of the quick ways to do that is to really be aware in the moment that you are without judgment or criticism. Because as soon as we begin to criticize ourselves, then we lose that energy. And we begin to contaminate other people, too, so that we begin to look through the eyes of criticism and judgment toward others, and we become perfectionistic, not only of ourselves, but of others.
Okay. All right. Can you define self-sabotage for us? I mean, I think most people understand, what it is, but give us a real strong definition. And, yeah.
In terms of a general concept of self-sabotage, it's any sort of conscious, and it can even be unconscious, beliefs or thoughts or actions that take us away from our goals. And what happens is that when they take us away from our goals, then these beliefs, these actions, then they contaminate our efforts. And so that's why it's so important to start the year knowing how do we sabotage ourselves.
Okay, so how do we sabotage ourselves? How do we know?
Well, there are a lot of examples of self-sabotage. How many of you are procrastinating, or you're disorganized, or you're feeling frantic from spending way too much money over the holidays, or other things like just not getting enough sleep and hitting that snooze alarm too many times, and what it does is it starts your day off on a wrong foot so that you don't have time to eat, you don't have time to compose yourself, you rush to work, and you increase the chances of getting into an accident because you're rushing so much. And then on top of that, just some daily things like becoming irritable when we're stressed and we're meeting pressures or deadlines, and then we start barking at the people around us,
right?
Whether it's family, whether it's work partners, whether it's even friends, that we begin to take things the wrong way. So there are a lot of ways that we sabotage.
Okay, all right. So, yeah, I notice that a lot of times people, kind of take it out on others, and it's usually not you that they're mad at. They're just upset with themselves, right?
That's right, exactly. And one of the things, going back to that whole thing about conscious loving, is there's two aspects that I want to clarify, because we typically sabotage ourselves. One is that we make assumptions about what the other person is thinking or feeling or needing or wanting, and guess what? We are oftentimes wrong. And so the best way to counter that is to really just to communicate with the other person. And the other thing, too, that we do is that we tend to make decisions or react out of heightened emotions, fear, anger, anxiety. And when we make decisions out of fear and anger, as an example, when they're heightened, then the results are oftentimes not desirable. They take you, again, away from your efforts and away from your goals, so that they tend to contaminate. So one rule is to avoid self-defeat, or better yet, to look at it to help yourself, is to make decisions when you're calm, not when you're in a heightened state.
Okay, yeah, I know. A lot of us are very reactive.
Exactly.
Yeah, like Sifu said, breathing is really good. Deep breathing.
That's right. Absolutely. So
right.
We can use all the tools that we have, right?
Right, right. Well, a lot of people struggle not only with self-sabotage, but also with their relationships. And so I know you do a lot of work with people with not only, stopping to, to get them to stop sabotaging themselves, but do you work with couples and show them how to work together? I imagine that a husband and a wife would, if they're both going through self-sabotage, it's going to affect their relationship, right?
That's absolutely right. And in fact, one of the ways that I work with couples that's really different is that I put them together in a room or a certain situation for 1 or 2 days.
Oh, okay.
they really learn about themselves and about each other, as well as learning the effects that they have on the other person and ways to communicate. And so instead of the typical counseling situation when people are in distress where it's sorry, the time is up, this way we actually get through resolutions and we have natural stopping points.
Okay.
But one of the things that really helps couples, and I want to be aware of this, and that is that even if your partner is not into relationship building and doesn't want to do a self-help course or go to coaching or counseling, something like that, then I want you to be the first one to do it. And the reason why is I've had countless individuals who sought me out because they've had relationship issues, either choosing the wrong partners over and over, or they're not happy with the partner that they're with.
All right.
And what happens is that when they begin to make changes within themselves, they affect not only their partner, but everybody else around them.
Okay, Mamiko, we're going to come back and talk about that. I want to find out what you do with those people in a room together for 2 days. And so we're going to take a short break. But when we come back, we're going to talk about relationships, okay? We are back with more Pep Talk, and we're here today with Dr. Mamiko Odegaard, and she has been talking about self-sabotage and certain ways that we do it, what it is. And before the break, Mamiko, we were talking a little bit, not so much about self-sabotage, but the way that couples can sabotage their relationships. And you said that you put them in a room together for 2 days. What's going on at those 2 days?
There's a lot of things, but one of the things, besides following my unique method that's called conscious loving, is I also have something that's called heart, and it's really easy for people to implement. And that is, one of the things that I do in the 2 days is that I have them become aware and listen, support each other in terms of the hurt, because in any relationship, there's some sort of hurt, there's some sort of pain, whether it's not feeling prioritized, not getting enough affection, not getting enough sex, not having that communication. So you want to be able to hear that hurt and really just develop it, not only to emote and to be able to release it, but more importantly, that your partner gets you, so that it's something that's really mutual in terms of hearing. The other thing, too, is that it's interesting because when couples marry each other or they're in a relationship with each other, it's not just the relationship with each other. It's the relationship of their families and their ancestors going back generations. And so it's really great to identify the rules that they're carrying about, what the expectations they have about themselves and others. And the third is that now they're having this increased awareness and they're able to, the fourth step is to reframe and to create new beliefs and rules that are really more functional and just learn different skills, whether it's learning how to stop yourself and knowing the signals of, the red, green, and yellow as to whether your partner is giving you that kind of halt signal. And then the last is really just transforming, and we're able to do this in 2 or 3 days, even with people that have had or are experiencing an affair.
Okay. So have you ever had this 2 days of these people together, and then at the end of 2 days they go, that's it, we're out of here?
No, I've never had that. But I have had situations where I've worked with couples of do we stay or do we leave?
Right.
And there are times when they really realize that they're so different in terms of who they were attracted to and the persons that they are now. And they, because they've gone through this 1 or 2 days with me, then they really part on just loving terms and mutual respect and just really wanting to support each other.
Oh, okay. That's nice. I like this. And you also talk about 48-hour makeovers for peak performance. So what do you do in that 48 hours with this person?
Well, just like you, Sharkie. I work with elite and professional athletes as well. And so this is so much fun because, as you know, athletes are really driven. They know about coaching. They're really open to coaching. And so what I do is I really look at those limiting beliefs that they have, but I also teach them as to how they can focus moment to moment. So with athletes, I really focus on this triangle that we have, and that is the mental, the emotional, and the physical. And everything starts out with mental because you can instantly change your emotions and your energy and your strength. And when they begin to see that and they become more aware as to how one part could be off, so that if they're physically off, what they can do to address that, and also how they can use their mental strategies. That is the mind game to affect their performance.
Right. And I think a lot of times too many athletes just focus on the physical. They think that if they do everything better than their competition, that they'll win. And a lot of times they're not getting that mental conditioning.
That's right, because you've heard many athletes say that the fine line, especially when you talk about high-level, world-class performers, is that it's really in the mental game as to how they can be in the zone or how they can instantly get themselves there. And there's a number of techniques that are used to get them there.
Right. And so I love the fact that you really, really work with people in terms of loving themselves. And I think that this is a real big issue, especially for young women, because they have the media sometimes working against them. Do you work with young women as well?
Yes, I work with all different ages, from usually about 18 on to like 80-year-olds, and even older, believe it or not. So it's never too late to make some improvements in your life.
Okay.
And I'm glad that you brought that up about women, because one of the things that I really want to point out to your listeners is to give yourself the gift of love. And you can do that by becoming self-full. And self-full is where you can be attuned to your needs, your wants, your emotions, your thoughts. And what you do is you take responsibility for them so that you prioritize yourself rather than putting your needs and wants on the back burner where you feel like you're really the caretaker or even the victim. So this is a way to really just give yourself permission to really be self-caring.
Right. I love the self-caring because a lot of times women feel like they have to take care of everybody else, and it's who's taking care of you. Right. And so what is one message you would like to share with us here at the end to be successful and to overcome self-sabotage? What's the one tip that you would give us today to start our new year?
One tip that I want people to remember is that self-love is equal to self-esteem, which is equal to self-confidence, and that's equal to your happiness and success in everything that you do. So it all starts with self-acceptance and love.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much. Now, tell us about where we can get your books and your coaching and your website. I'm sure you have a lot of information you can share with us on that.
Yes. If you can go to www.actonlove.com, and that's actonlove.com. And you'll see under services, you'll see a variety of services there that I offer, and even online self-help courses as to how you can up your love and have love for a lifetime, as well as my book, Daily Affirmations for Love and Overcoming Self-Sabotage. So it's all there on my website. Okay. And you can even, for those of you who would like a personal introduction, I'd love to have a time to really talk to you one-on-one. So please feel free to contact me for complimentary coaching. Just go ahead and give me a call.
Really? You would give a person a complimentary one-on-one?
Yes, absolutely. Because it's all about building that trust and building that relationship, and I want to show you exactly how important each and every one of you are.
Oh, that's awesome. I see your book, Daily Affirmations for Love. You have 365 days of love in thought and action. Can you give us a couple of your favorite affirmations?
Yes, and these are, by the way, inspired by my husband and our love together of over 40-plus years, believe it or not. And one of my favorites is that my husband would ask, or he would ask me, or I would ask him, like, how are you? And he would reply, I am so ecstatic. I just love being married to you. You're the best wife in the world, or you make my day. And he would start my day, or at the end of the day, or whenever I would ask him, how are you? That's one of the things that you can do to instantly energize any relationship, whether it's through your work, your child, your friend, your partner. Just remember to just give that compliment, that acknowledgement. Instead of just saying, oh, my day is okay, you can make anyone's day magnificent.
Awesome. Thanks so much for joining us today, Dr. Mamiko. Great advice.
Well, thank you. I love being here. And for yourself and for everyone listening, be sure to act on love. Just show that love to yourself today and every day.
Okay, and your website is drmamiko.com. Is that right?
That's right, but you can actually get there in an easier way of just going to actonlove.com.
Perfect.
It'll take you to the same place.
Perfect.
www.actonlove.com.
Thank you so much for joining us, and Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year to you. Take care now.
Okay, we'll be back to wrap it up right after this. Hey, thanks for joining us today on Pep Talk, and to my wonderful guests, Dr. Mamiko Odegaard and Sifu Singh. Until next time, I am Sharkie Zartman. Here's to your inner shark, and Happy New Year.